Are you serious? Are you serious, guys? It's Sunday evening, of course. At 7 p.m. Eastern will be the regular Sunday Night Live. But right now, we have breaking news taking place that is of an urgent matter, really, and we're going to look at that. It is escalating in the Holy Land and a new country involved. Let me first put a shout out for getolive1.com/Paul. That's getolive1.com/Paul. Look, guys, we've partnered with Dr. Stephen Gundry to share some information with you. Would you believe it if I told you this? Inside your pantry right now is one of the healthiest foods on the planet. Yep, it's true. It's not some weird, trendy superfood. Spoiler alert, it's olive oil. You're probably used to cooking with it, but there are countless ways to use olive oil to keep yourself looking and feeling younger. For example, olive oil is a natural way to help you achieve a more youthful appearance. Besides helping you look younger on the outside, it's a fantastic tool for the insides as well. And according to Dr. Stephen Gundry, that famous cardiologist, surgeon, nutrition expert, health advocate, you should get as much high-quality olive oil into your daily routine as possible. Whether it's taking a shot of it every day or keeping a bottle of it in your bathroom medicine cabinet, you need the best olive oil. Now, if you're looking for the best results, you better pick the best olive oil. The olive oil industry is huge. You can tell by the number of olive oil brands you see at the grocery store. And you can bet they're not all made with the consumer in mind. No, many of these brands do a lot of cutting the corners to get as much increased profits as possible. But Dr. Stephen Gundry came to the realization, and he was appalled by what he was seeing. Some olive oils are so powerful, it may only take a few teaspoons a week, and you'll see incredible health benefits. You really will. So how can I help you guys? How else can I tell you this? You need to click on the link below this video. Go to getolive1.com/Paul. That's getolive1.com/Paul. Guys, seriously, you'll be glad that you did. Well, yep, it's we're really in a very, very precarious situation, guys. That's why I'm saying, warning, planet Earth. And it's true. We are in, and boy, the 7 o'clock broadcast is going to blow your mind what all's going on around the world. It's going to shock you. Really, it will. Get your tickets for the webinar. We're only 5 days away. The webinar's Friday night at 6 o'clock. Get your tickets tonight. Sunday Night Live. Get your tickets right now. Get it tonight. Go to my website at paulbegleyprophecy.com or pick up the phone and call them tonight. Call the office tonight, 765-414-2230. That's 765-414-2230. Get your tickets tonight for Friday night's webinar, Warning Planet Earth. Well, let's start with this warning. On Friday, and this might be why John Bolton was raided on Friday. This might have been why they released Maxwell's audio tapes from the Epstein files on Friday. This might be why they launched one of the controversial, highly classified space planes that's going to circle the Earth on Friday. It could have been that they didn't want you to know that the Houthi rebels, fired a ballistic missile that had a cluster bomb warhead that went in several different directions. The first time they've done this. How did they get their hands on a cluster bomb in Yemen? It was the first cluster bomb warhead fired at Israel for the first time. It happened on Friday, and it did some damage. As Israeli Air Force investigates into Friday night's ballistic missile attack from Yemen, they found that for the first time, the Houthis have used a projectile with a cluster bomb warhead. One of the munitions struck the yard of a home in the central town of Jeanston, causing some damage. The military says that the failure to intercept this projectile is under investigation. because the Iron Dome should have been able to shoot it down. And what happened was, before it could hit it, it went into a cluster of bombs. Now, this is an investigation. They say, Israel's saying it's unrelated to the type of warhead it was, but I don't think that's true. The air defense systems, with an emphasis on an upper layer, are capable of dealing with this, intercepting such missiles, as they have intercepted them in the past, according to IDF. But how have you intercepted them in the past when this is the first time one's ever been launched? I don't think so. I think this was a new twist. Yes, Israel will figure it out, but it is a concern. Now, Iran launched a lot of ballistic missiles, and some of them, they say, had cluster warheads, but those bombs never got a chance to explode but before they were intercepted in that 12-day war back in June. The Houthis in Yemen, it's the first time they've ever fired one of these cluster bomb warheads, and they got them from Iran. Now, this woman right here, her house was hit. The entire home shook, she said. The floor was filled with glass. She recalls the Houthi missile strike. And that's Elena Hanoumi, whose house is in central Israel, was hit by part of the Yemen ballistic missile fire on Friday. She said, and she's just southeast of Tel Aviv, she was in her reinforced room, in other words, her bunker, when the missile hit, having rushed in when she heard the sirens. Thank God she did. There was 2 explosions at my house. The entire home shook, she recalls. The power went out. I thought it was very close, but I didn't imagine it hit my home. I came out to a shattered kitchen. All the windows in the house broken out. All the floor. The floor was filled with glass. And also, other rooms in my house suffered damage as she went through it with a flashlight because there was no more power. So the Houthis have taken it to another level, and that means we're in a serious situation. Well, here's the breaking news. That happened Friday. Here's what happened about an hour and a half ago. Breaking news out of Israel. The Israeli Air Force has attacked the Houthi targets in Yemen. According to reports, now you notice what's been happening the whole time that they've been firing these missiles at Israel. Israel's not fired back. They've just been knocking down using the Iron Dome or the David Sling or Patriot missile systems or the THAAD missile system that they got from America. And they haven't went after the Houthis. It was the United States that's been bombing the Houthis. It's been the United States doing it. Well, not now. Today, about an hour and a half ago, Israel launched an attack and assault on Yemen. According to reports, the Israeli IDF targeted military facilities near the presidential palace in Yemen. They also hit a fuel depot. They also hit 2 power stations. Israel's carrying out a massive airstrike as we speak right now. Matter of fact, the IDF said just a short while ago, the IDF struck military infrastructures of the Houthi terrorist regime in the Sana'a area, including the military site in which the president and the presidential palace is located. The Azar and the Hizaz power plants were also destroyed, and a site for storing fuel was also blown away. All were used by the military activity of the Houthi terrorist regime. These strikes were conducted in response to the repeated attacks by the Houthi terrorist regime against the state of Israel and its civilians, but specifically because of the cluster bomb on Friday, including launching of surface-to-surface missiles and drones attacks toward Israeli territories in the last few days. The presidential palace in Yemen is located within a military site, within about a mile of a military site from which the military forces of the Houthi terrorist regime operates. I mean, that's crazy. The presidential palace of Yemen is only a mile from where the Houthis are operating out of. And in addition, these two power plants were also hit, which served as significant electricity supply for the military activities and for part of the nation. The strike on the power plants damaged the production and supply of electricity for the military purposes, as well as a significant amount of civilian homes. The use of these plants constitutes further proof of how the Houthi regime has been using civilian infrastructure for its military purposes. The Houthis' terrorist regime operates under the direction and the funding of the Iranian regime and the Ayatollah Ali Khamenei in order to harm the state of Israel and Israel's allies. This terrorist regime exploited the maritime domain to project forces, sending projectiles, and to carry out terror activity against global shipping and trade routes along the Mediterranean and the Red Sea. The IDF will operate against these ongoing and repeated attacks of the Houthi terrorist regime against the state of Israel and remains determined to continue removing any threat in the region posed to the civilians of the state of the nation of Israel, whether it is required or not. And guys, next month is a September to remember, as the United Nations is going to be gathering in New York City. And there's this push by Emmanuel Macron of France and by several other major European leaders, and of course, Middle Eastern leaders and African nations, all of which, and even Canada is waffling, all of them are trying to figure out how they can force a two-state solution on Israel. But the United States is still standing strong. The UK is kind of with us on this. We're hoping to hang with us. We're hoping the Australians do, but their prime minister is waffling bad. I mean, there's a lot of nations now. The anti-Semitic message, the anti-Semitic propaganda that's been targeting and trying to force a two-state solution against Israel. And Douglas Paxton just said it right in the chat room. He said the two-state solution, it will usher in the Antichrist. He's probably completely right. We know it's part of the Antichrist agenda to divide the land. But now God told in the book of Joel, chapter 3, God said he would take, if he had to, he'd bring the whole world down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, right there between the Mount of Olives and the Golden Gate, or the eastern gate of the walls of Jerusalem that leads up into the Temple Mount. And God said, if I have to, I'll plead with the whole world not to part my land, and I'll beg them not to do it. But guys, they're trying very hard. They're trying extremely hard. And I'm telling you, this September, and people have been asking, is it possible that this September 23rd, on Rosh Hashanah, during the 3 days of the Feast of Trumpets, which starts actually on the 22nd, September 22nd, 23rd, and 24th, people have been asking me, Pastor Paul, there's been dreams, people are having visions, people are seeing the days of the rapture. And they've been asking me, do you think it's possible? Do you think it will happen? Do you think this is the rapture? Well, one thing's for sure, no man knows the day or the hour. It's right there plain in red letters in Matthew 24:36. But other scriptures tell you, but you will see the day approaching. And Paul talks about when the last trump of God sounds. That's during the Feast of Trumpets, when they blow the 100 when they blow the trumpet or the shofar 100 times. That last one is the long one, known as the last trump. Paul says when that last trump is sounded, then the Lord will come. The dead in Christ, we're told in Thessalonians, the dead in Christ are going to rise first, and us that are alive and remain will be caught up forever to be with the Lord, and so shall we be with the Lord. And there's a lot of scriptures throughout the Bible that talks about two women will be grinding at the mill. One is taken, one is left. Two men working in the field, one to be taken, one is left. We're told to watch and pray. We don't know the time. But we can see the day approaching. We can see that when the leaves on that fig tree, which means Israel, is tender, we know that summer is nigh. We know that the time is near. And we can see the harvest of the souls coming into Christ. But I do believe we still got a little more time. I personally think this will not be the year. I don't know. No man knows the day or the hour, but I think there's just a couple more prophecies that need to be fulfilled. But I wouldn't, listen, folks, if you're waiting around to see, I wouldn't be wasting time. I would get right with God, because this could be the time. This could be the season. This could be the hour of the soon coming of Jesus Christ. And the Bible said that you don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be left here to face the wrath of God, which will be poured out upon the entire planet. You don't want to be here when the judgment vials of God are breaking open and those seals begin to break loose and those bowls of wrath are poured upon the planet. You want to give your life to Jesus Christ. But folks, right now, today, I'm telling you right now, and we're going to do another broadcast. I'll be back live with a full show at 7 p.m. Eastern. I tell you what to do right now. I'm going to play a song. Get your tickets right now. Warning, Planet Earth. I've got information. It's going to maybe raise the hair on the back of your head on the warnings that have just come out about these end times. Are you serious? Warning! Warning, Planet Earth! Warning! Wars, rumors of wars, earthquakes, hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, blood moons, monsoons, baboons, pontoons, raccoons. Are you serious? Are you serious? Saturday was silent, and surely it was through. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? And Friday's disappointment is Sunday's empty tomb. Since when has impossible ever stopped you? This is the sound of a dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. Pentecostal fire, stirring something new. You're not gonna run out of miracles anytime soon. Your resurrection power, it runs in my veins too. I believe there's another miracle here in this room. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. This is the praise make a dead man walk again. Open the grave, I'm coming out. I'm gonna live again. This is the sound of dry bones rattling. My God is able to save and deliver and heal and restore anything that He wants to. Just ask the man who was thrown on the bones of Elisha if there's anything that he can do. Just ask the stone that was rolled at the tomb in the garden what happens when God says to move. I feel Him moving it now. I feel Him doing it now. I feel Him doing it now. Do it now. Do it Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel. Prophesy and say to them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, my people, I will open your graves and cause you to come up from your graves and bring you into the land of Israel. Then you shall know that I am the Lord, and I will put my spirit in you, and I will place you in your own land, and you shall live. I will place you in your own land. You shall live, 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 live. Oh, that's right. That's right. The dry bones are coming to life. In the great battle of Gog and Magog, we know that there is a time coming when it will take 7 years to get rid of the weapons that are left in the battlefield and 7 months to bury the dead. These are prophetic things that are just mind-boggling, really. But folks, today, as we said, Israel was hit with a cluster bomb by a ballistic missile that was a cluster bomb. First time they'd hit, Israel had been hit with one by the Houthis on Friday, and just about an hour and a half ago, Israel has responded with a massive attack on the Houthis, including blowing up 2 of their power plants, blowing up their main fuel depot, and even hitting very close to the presidential palace of Yemen. This is huge, and we're going to hang on. We'll give you more information about it. Things develop. I'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. I'll be back at 7 p.m. Eastern with a complete rundown of everything that's going on. And again, we're only 5 days away from this incredible webinar, Warning Planet Earth. This one is incredible with an all-star cast of speakers. Really, you don't want to miss this one. You go and get your ticket. Don't miss it. Get the ticket. Go to paulbegleyprophecy.com or pick up the phone right now and call the main line, 765-414-2230. That's 765-414-2230, and order your ticket tonight. Get ready. We're in the final warning of the soon coming of Jesus Christ. Give your life to Jesus Christ, folks. We're running out of time.